Okay, here I am, and I'm live. Mike is just outside, but he's not coming in. He will not be participating in today's Google Plus Hangout, whatever this thing is called. Anyway, I'm glad you're here and enjoying it, and I'm going to do this thing again, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so here is how the Hangout thing works. I will just blather on at you, and then hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm saying, and then you'll watch it later on YouTube. All right, so I made some notes of some things I want to talk about, and then I also have a stack of mail. So one of the things that I wanted to do, though, is, tell you a bit about how my life is going. Mostly I'm sweaty because I have not put the air conditioners in all over the house. So I'm feeling kind of gross and disgusting. So, and also I might have like ketchup on my face. We might have gone to Wendy's for dinner. All right. So anyway, here we go. It is time for the Monday Mail Hag. That's me. And Adam says, oh, how exciting, a Monday edition. That's right. It is live, just like when we do the Derek and Romaine thing. So the same things apply. If you're watching on YouTube, you click on the bottom of the screen right here to interact. And up at the top of the screen, you'll see a keypad. And then you can vote up and down questions that you like or don't like. And you can also ask your own question in the Q&A feature. It doesn't necessarily work on phones, just how it is. All right. So I've had some people who have asked me about some things. And so I thought I would tell you about it and then go off into the nonsense. So first, people have been asking me about this Nina Simone documentary that's on Netflix. I feel like I already talked about it before, but I will say it again. I watched it. It was great. I very much enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. I've strangely enough been watching a lot of documentaries over the last couple of days. I watched The American Masters on PBS of both Harper Lee, because I'm interested in this Go Set a Watchman thing. And then I also watched the one on Margaret Mitchell. And I don't know, Margaret Mitchell came off as like real lesy to me. You know, she had this whole thing where, she wanted to be called by a boy's name and wear pants and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay. But anyway, so then I watched the Harper Lee thing. And then for whatever reason, I didn't realize that Harper Lee had lived literally next door to Truman Capote. I don't know how I missed that. But anyway, there it was. So I learned a lot. I also have been watching an enormous amount of the Hallmark Channel. Oh my God. The TV gets stuck there. Romaine does not understand this, but maybe you do. So you know how the TV gets stuck on a channel? Like you turn the TV on, it's just on that channel. Normally when Mike is here, the channel that it gets stuck on is HGTV. And so then you get sucked into a Love It or List It marathon. And the next thing you know, your whole day is gone. So for some reason, while Mike has been away, I have been stuck on the Hallmark Channel. There's some kind of something Cove show that they're running a million promos for. For a little while there, it was like Christmas in July, and so they were running a million Christmas movies. And all of the guys in the Christmas movies are only moderately hot. Like they're a little hot, like just hot enough not to scare people. And it's not hot enough for me. But of course, I've been watching like 1001 Golden Girls reruns. And I've literally turned into my grandmother because this was her thing. Like, oh, before I go to bed, I've got to watch The Girls. She was very upset when Lifetime changed the schedule so the Golden Girls were not on at her bedtime anymore. I think she wrote a strongly worded something on papyrus and then rolled it up very neatly and sent it down the Nile River. She was not really super tech savvy. Anyway, so I watched the Golden Girls on the Hallmark Channel. It's edited to shit. This show was just on the air 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Why do they have to cut 5 minutes out of it for commercials? How on earth does Hallmark need to do that to keep the lights on? It's a 25-year-old show. It can't possibly cost anything. Anyway, I love it. I watch The Girls every night before I go to bed. It's heartbreaking. But I keep getting sucked in. Like, I'll go in to watch something new, and then it's like, oh, wait, the Golden Girls are on. Well, I'll just watch a thing, and then it goes on forever. Oh, God. Zach has the answer for me. It's Cedar Cove. It is. It's Cedar Cove. I'm not watching it. Even though the hottie from Eureka, who also does the Maytag commercials, he has been added to the cast, but it's not enough to get me to watch. We have another question. This one's from Mark. Mark says, did you intentionally color coordinate your shirt with your wrapping station? No. Actually, that is like a Tiffany blue thing. This is a little more green. I know that with the lighting and everything, it's hard to tell, but they're actually a color not match, but I'm far enough away that you can't really tell. I know I have no sense of style, so I don't match things to other things. If you ever see me matching, like, oh, your shoes and your shirt match, that was an accident or someone dressed me, because that's not who I am. All right, we'll take some more questions in a few moments. I'm committed to a short period of time for this. We'll go 15 minutes and then we'll see. Maybe I'll go a little longer, but anyway. Mike and I have TV to watch. I got things to do. And I can already feel the sweat on the back of my neck. It's so gross. Okay, so because it's the Monday Mail Hag, I have been trying to be nice to people. You know, if you listen to the show, you know that I can sometimes be short. You know, my whole ask a stupid question, get a bitchy answer. And so anyway, but our future depends on people liking us. And so I've tried to be a little more likable, let's say. Some people are missing the old me. But I genuinely appreciate the people who have reached out and said such nice things about me, about the show, about the two of us together. It has really meant a lot to me. It really has. I know that it's hard for me to sound sincere sometimes when I'm talking, because that's the tone of my voice is very flat. But sincerely, honestly, it has meant a lot to me. It's been very, very sweet. I've been very touched by it. But that doesn't mean that I don't like when somebody does something stupid or asks a stupid question. It still drives me bananas. But it doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean that I don't love all of you and I don't appreciate everything. But, you know, I got a short amount of patience. All right, so anyway, so I got some nice mail. But I got some funny stuff in the mail today that I wanted to get to. We'll get to that in a second. I want to get to some of the old business before the new business, because I've had sort of a mail day today. One of our listeners, Ron, he ordered one of the books today. Wait, was it Ron? Oh, fuck. No, it wasn't Ron. It was Ronnie. Okay, so anyway. What else, Ronnie? See, I knew it was there. All right, so Ronnie, he ordered some books, so I sent those off today. And then also a friend of mine is in rehab. So I wrote a nice note. And by nice note, it said, bitch, get it together, because I need you in my life. Anyway, I hope that their rehab is going sufficiently well that when they get a note that says, bitch, pull it together, that they will appreciate it in the spirit in which it is intended. Tanya has a question before you get to the old mail. Tanya says, so how much of the ad do I have to watch before your video for you to get paid? I made it a minute and a half on a 3-minute commercial. Please tell me you get credit for that, because I've now seen things I can't unsee. Tanya, I'm sorry. I appreciate your dedication and your motivation in watching most of a 3-minute ad. We really don't get that much money. I mean, it would be great if you could watch the whole ad or click on the ad. That's really what they care about, is the click, honestly. So if you could click on the ad, you don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just click on it and then pass right through, because that's what they care about. But anyway, I appreciate your dedication, Tanya. Thank you for that. And even when you click on it, we're literally talking about pennies. So if you forget to click on it, don't cry your eyes out about it. Okay, so I got a couple of cards fairly early on, and I may have talked about it before, but I got a nice card from Norma in Connecticut. See, here's the card from Norma. And she wrote lovely, heartfelt things to me. I have to be careful here with showing people's addresses and everything, because some of you are watching me on like 65-inch TVs because you're mean. I'm not supposed to be watched in high def at this age. How dare you? Anyway, Norma sent this lovely card, and she included a $5 bill, because that's what grandmothers do. I appreciated that. That was very sweet. Although I never had a grandparent that gave me a 5, right? No. Nanny and Papa used to send us 10. And our parents, my mom got $25 because they had 4 kids and 10 grandkids. So the 4 kids each got $25 a piece, and the 10 grandkids each got $10 a piece. They like things very even. Square. So, and then Grandma and Grandpa Grandma Har just died recently. Remember, she was the 90-year-old dancing grandma. My brother Adam turned her into a YouTube sensation. She used to send us $2 bills, and they're still at my mom's house somewhere. We have a wad of $2 bills somewhere, if you're into that sort of thing. But nobody ever sent us a 5. Okay, so then I got a nice card from Josh, who was on the Derek and Romaine cruise, and he actually sent it to my house. He said, please don't consider this stalking. I just used data records for the address, but I promise not to show up at your doorstep. Ding dong, ha ha. Anyway, Josh is very nice. I don't think he is coming to stalk me or kill me, but I was a little bit like, when I got this card in the mail at my own house. Okay, so anyway, so I went to my mailbox today, and I got this. I'm gonna cover up all the information. All right, see, here it is. This is from Ron and Dan, who live in Utah. Now, you know I grew up in Utah, and so I was very excited about that. It has some nudity. Of course, I open it up at the post office, and there's like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so he sent me a very long card, and I will not read all of it, but they said that they've been listening since 2008, and they loved our show, and they're keeping tabs for the next adventure, so they're probably going to see this. They said, since I know you hate gifts, I am sending a couple. Keep smiling. That's literally what they wrote. I'm sending a couple. Keep smiling. Also, we are more of the listeners that thought you would always be there. Well, I've heard from a lot of people who were like, they just took for granted we would always be there every day. Said any road trip was built around DNR on demand, and I am not super tech savvy, but fortunately my partner is. Please know Small Town Utah loves DNR. Ordered your books a couple of weeks ago and excited to read them. Love you, Ron. Well, listen, Ron, read them, don't read them, burn them in the yard. I appreciate that you ordered them. And they sent me gift cards. Starbucks, naturally, and Del Taco Bell. Very excited about that. All right. Mark says, do you have a P.O. box? I do have a P.O. box. If you, I mean, I'm not like Romaine, I'm not shamelessly shilling out for things, but I do have a P.O. box. It's tied to the books that I published. And if you email me, if you really want to send me something, I can send you the P.O. box address. But I'm not encouraging, this is not like a, hey, thanks for joining my free video, please send me money. This is not like that. But if you write to me, if it really means that much to you and you want to send me something, like a card or something, then you can do that. But you know me, I'm always in a save your money space. You want to spend your money on something, spend your money on something that is worthwhile for you, or give money to charity. Like, I'm fine. Okay, so in doing the Derek and Romaine cruise, just like with doing the show, when we do the cruise, we meet new people. And in meeting people, we make friends. This happens. Now, we don't make friends with every single person that we meet at every event we go to. We don't make friends with every single person that we meet on the boat, although we have a very nice time with everyone. I think some people are hoping that they will go away friends with us after the thing. And, but even still, sometimes, I mean, I don't want to say I'm pleasantly surprised when I find out that I have things in common and I like hanging out with the people on the boat, because part of what I think is the appeal of the cruise is that, you know, if you listen to the show and you agree with our opinions or whatever, we all like the same movies, the same TV shows, whatever it is, then when we hang out, it'll probably be like, oh, we're just friends hanging out because we like a lot of the same things. We're on the same wavelength. And it's the thing with the other people who are on the boat. It's a boat filled with other people who are on the same wavelength. So you end up making lots of friends. I think some people think, oh, I won't be able to meet anyone, I won't know anyone, but people make really, really good friendships while they're on the boat. Sorry, I keep looking over at the questions, but I'm here, I'm focused. So anyway, so people make good friends on the boat, and Romaine and I are not immune from that either. We make good friends too. So there's a couple of lesbians, Tiffany and Kelly. And I told the story on the air after we were in Mexico the first time that they basically saved my life on that boat. And it was definitely a thing where I didn't expect to become friends with them. It just happened that they kept being in this place where they saved my life. And by saved my life, I mean, I left the boat without sunscreen. You see how pale I am. And if they hadn't been there, I don't know, I'd still probably be burned to a crisp. Went to lunch. I was going to take Romaine's niece, like buy her lunch. And then I realized I left the boat without any money. So they had to buy my lunch for me. It was so embarrassing. So anyway, it turned out that they were there and they were very helpful. And naturally, when you're wandering around like a lost baby, you depend on other people. And so I came to depend on Tiffany and Kelly, probably too much, but they were very nice about it. And so anyway, so we had a good time when we went to Mexico. And then in this last cruise that we did, also to Mexico, but on the other side of Mexico, we hung out a bit there. Their room was right down the hall from me. And I purposefully was like, I'm going to be close to you. And part of it is because I clearly am barely a human person. So I need to have these reliable lesbians nearby who can help me. And it was nice having them close by. Since the show ended, I've been talking to Tiffany and Kelly, as I've been talking to lots and lots of people, and they're coming on the cruise this fall. Their room is right next to mine. And so they're like, oh, we really want to send you something. And I don't want them to send me anything. They're spending all this money to go on the cruise. They should save their money for Broadway show tickets or the fun things they want to do in town or on shore excursions or whatever. They don't need to send me anything, but they really wanted to. So I'm like, all right, fine. You can send me something if you want to. It's fine. So I go to get the mail today, and there is a slip waiting in the mailbox from the post office. And it says there's a parcel that they were unable to deliver. I guess the AC was running, so I couldn't hear the doorbell. Anyway, there was a parcel they were trying to deliver. It'll be available at the post office tomorrow for the next 9 days. And it has, I got to show you this, $1.30 postage due. Bitches, I'm unemployed. I can't take your postage due presents. Anyway, I wrote to Tiffany and Kelly about it, and they felt horrible. But of course, I was like, this is hilarious. It's hilarious. I don't have a job, and people are sending me postage due packages. Anyway, it's $1.30. It's not going to break the bank. And I'm pretty sure I have that much money just sitting in the console and change in the car. But I thought it was hilarious that that I got this postage due package. And I want you to know, in Tiffany and Kelly's defense, they took the box to the post office. The post office weighed it and charged them and then sent it, and it wasn't enough postage. So it's on the post office. They're the ones who fucked up for whatever reason. Shady post office. Anyway, I want to thank you all for the mail that you've sent me. I will next go to the Q&A questions before we wrap this up. But I do want to thank all of you who have either emailed me, because that costs nothing. I appreciate the emails. And then those of you who have sent like your cards and letters and packages, and thank you about that too. So I appreciate all of that. This is not everything that has come to me, by the way. It's just a very quick selection of things. So other people have sent me things. I'm sorry I did not like give you a shout out. You know how I love shout outs. But anyway, many other people have sent me other things too. And I thank you for those as well. I'm sorry I did not get to everyone. And Tiffany says the $1.30 is coming soon. Please do not send $1.30 to me. I'm going to see you in like 90 days. The cruise is right around the corner. I promise it'll come out in the wash on the boat. We'll put $1.30 into a slot machine and see what happens. That's what we'll do. All right, Tiffany and Kelly, here's what we will do with the $1.30. We'll take the $1.30. We'll go to a nickel slot machine, and we'll play that $1.30 on the boat. And then whatever earnings that come out of that, we'll split it. And if it's lost, it's lost. How about that? But who knows? Maybe we'll win like $100 or something. So let's do that. That's my plan. That's what we're going to do with our $1.30. Okay. Donna says, I do worry about your showing your house after your stalker story. Hashtag, I'm a worrier. Look, I'm a worrier too. And for a long time, I was very protective about where I live, my house, and all that kind of stuff. And, but at a certain, we live in an information age. If people want to know where I live, it's because of New York State, it's fairly public knowledge. And you know what? I've already sent a stalker to federal prison. I got security cameras on my house. The locks are all locky. So just don't come to my house. That's all I ask. Please have some decorum. I'm just one man with a room for wrapping presents. I'm no hero. Tiffany says it's a deal, so we're on. Mel says a $1.30 Taco Bell gift card, that's like a whole meal. Oh, no. The Taco Bell gift card is $15. $15. That's like 5 meals. I mean, it's going to be 1 meal for me, but the average person, which I am not. Don't worry, that Taco Bell gift card is going to get some use. And the Starbucks card too. Frank says, will Maggie Smith come to your home in November to promote her new film? Yes, she's going to park her van in my driveway. I'm very excited about the Maggie Smith Lives in a Van movie that's coming out. Oh my God, there's so many movies coming out that I'm excited about. But anyway, I'm excited about Maggie Smith living in a van. And this suffragette movie that Meryl Streep is in. I don't know. It might be super terrible, but I'm going to go and see it anyway. But it's probably going to, it doesn't look like it's great, but I don't know. I want to see it anyway. And then what else did I watch? Oh my God. The vulture.com put out a video today of Miss Piggy doing Bitch Better Have My Money. It's easily the greatest thing you'll see all day. I posted on the Derek and Romaine Facebook page, facebook.com/Derek and Romaine, and it's glorious. You will not want to miss it. So be sure to check that out. Also, I just quickly checked because Greg in Buffalo sent an instant message saying, hi, Greg. I hope you're actually viewing this instead of just sending a message. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Jason says, have you checked out patreon.com? God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ash, you'll tell me if I'm pronouncing that right, won't you? I have looked at it. It's basically an internet tip jar. And I mean, that's very nice, but we don't need a tip jar. You know, we had a career. We need another career. And that is what our focus is. Also, I mean, I think that, you know, if we get to a place where we ask people for money, we have to give them some professional thing for their money. That means like a real show. So there may come a point in time, just like when you paid to hear our show before, that you may need to pay to hear our show again. And when that happens, I hope you will join us. But in the meantime, I'm not going to ask you to stuff things in a tip jar or send gift cards or whatever against your will, just to keep us going. It's not necessary. It really is not necessary. So thank you, Jason. We have looked at it, but I don't think that we could make a going concern of an internet tip jar. Jay says, how are you doing? Haha, just for old time's sake. How do you think I'm doing? I'm fine. If one person asks, it's fine. Tanya is back again. She says, Mr. Holmes was really good. If it's not already on your to-see list, you should add it. I saw it over the weekend. It was one of the movies that I was looking forward to this year. I inadvertently said the wrong movie musical that Bill Condon Directed, it was Dreamgirls, not Chicago. That was Rob Marshall. My mistake. I said it on a Periscope or on the Sunday show that I did with Romaine. Either way, Bill Condon's very talented. He did a great job with Mr. Holmes, and Sir Ian McKellen was terrific too. The kid was actually really good, and it was all about having an apiary, which is my dream. I just want to have a bunch of bees. I know everyone's like, Derek, you're already super crazy. I think if you were a beekeeper, I just want like the hat and the netting. Jason says a large number of podcasters pull in $10,000 to $15,000 a month with Patreon. It is entirely possible that they do, and I will not turn my nose up at any legitimate offer, but we're looking for something that's a little more structured. That's what I'm saying. But you aren't the first person to suggest that. You will not be the last. And you know what? If we have to put out the tip jar, we will. Don't worry. We will not just walk away. Okay, we're about to wrap this up. Mark says, I'm going to wear a deer outfit and graze in your backyard so you can scope me. Okay, well, Mark, unless you're super tiny and look like Bambi, that's probably not going to work. Also, just, when I say don't come to my house, it also means don't come to my yard. Please, please. I promise I will give like a inside of the house tour so that you can see the inside without having to like peer in through the window like he is right now. Made you look. Well, this has been fun. I hope it's been fun for you. Has it? I hope so. Well, if you liked my video, be sure to, like it on YouTube and subscribe to me on YouTube. If you click on the, whatever it's called, the showcase thing, I don't know. Anyway, over on this side of the screen, I keep remembering that it's opposite for you than it is for me. It's on this side of the screen for you. On the showcase thing, you can see, click on the thing to subscribe to me on YouTube, click on the thing to follow me on Google+. And if you want the link for getting my books, it's right there. And if you want to email me, just email me or find me on Facebook, whatever. I'm not that hard to find. Digitally, I mean, and I don't mean with your fingers. Oh, jeez, I got to be very, very specific around here. Thanks so much for being with me. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, wherever the places are. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the fine stack of mail that I got from people. And don't worry, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. No, really, I'm fine. Okay, I'm going to go and watch TV with Mike. I have my cherry Coke from Wendy's sitting in the kitchen, not being consumed here. My mouth is super dry right now. And I got to go and drink the shit out of that. Oh, and also, oh my God, I forgot to tell you about this cobweb. So I'm watching TV downstairs. This is the last story, and then I'm out. I'm watching TV downstairs with Mike. We're watching Jeopardy, old man questions. Oh, there's some crazy, vibrant lady on Jeopardy. Oh, she could just drive you crazy. Anyway, we're watching Jeopardy. I keep forgetting the mic is here. I hope I'm not like blocking the sound. While we're watching Jeopardy, Mike goes, do you see that cobweb there? And I look up, and when I say there's a cobweb in front of the TV, I mean there's a cobweb strung from the cross beam in the middle of the room all the way across to the other side of the wall. Literally half the length of the basement is one giant spider web that is delicately down in front of like the top third of the TV. And here's the crazy thing. I just vacuumed in there. I mean, I didn't dust, but I just vacuumed in there today. And in running the vacuum, I literally got to the place where the cobweb was billowing out maybe 3 inches from my face. And I'm just vacuuming away. And there's this giant willowy cobweb that was probably, I don't know how wide my basement is, but let's say that part is, say, 10 to 15 feet. 10 to 15 feet long, maybe another 3 or 4 feet wide. That's how big the cobweb was. Couldn't see it. And then once Mike mentioned it, I couldn't not see it in front of the TV. I don't know how I missed it. The whole thing is going to shit. Anyway, if you're worried about me, not showering and watching the Golden Girls while a cobweb spins around me, well, all of your concerns are 100% founded in reality. Anyway, thanks. No, really, I'm fine. I always tell you the worst things that are happening. So just know, if knowing that there's a giant cobweb in front of the TV that for some reason I couldn't see for weeks, if that is like the most disturbing thing that's happening for me right now, then I'm fine. I'm not just telling you like an example of one of the many terrible, crazy things that are happening. I'm really telling you the absolute, this is the saddest. So if you can live with that, I can too. All right, until next time, don't forget, Romaine and I will be doing one of these Google Plus chats again on YouTube on Sunday, 4 p.m. at our regular time, Eastern time. Thanks for being with us. I got a lovely turnout today for the live thing. I appreciate that. A little guilt never hurts. All right. Thanks for being with me, and thanks for supporting me. And oh crap, there's more comments. All right. Very quickly, because I keep saying I'm going and then I'm not going. It's the worst. Nana, I got to get off the phone. Gail says, have you heard from any of the Sirius DJs? I've heard from a bunch of people that we used to work with over at Sirius. Everybody has been very, very nice. So have I heard from every single person? No, but there are some people that only ever had my work email address. I don't like to give out my phone number. And so there are lots of people that didn't necessarily know how to contact me. There are some people that we worked with at Sirius that I got like direct messages on Twitter from, or like Facebook messages from, because they didn't have other ways of contacting me. So I have not heard from every single person that I used to work with at SiriusXM, but most people did not have any way to directly contact me. So there isn't anybody there was one person that I thought that I didn't hear from. And I was like, oh, I cannot believe I didn't hear from them. I'm so upset. And then it turns out, and I was like, oh, I thought they were my friend. And then a week later, they posted a picture on Facebook that they were in a hospital, literally a picture of them with an IV drip in their arm. And they're like, hey, I've been in the hospital for a week. I just want everyone to know I'm okay. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the worst friend ever. Because the whole time I was like, oh, I can't believe I haven't heard from you. And then he was in the hospital. So I'm kind of a narcissistic bitch. Thanks for asking, in case you're wondering. Donna says, see, Mark is why I worry. I'm not so worried about Mark. I think Mark is okay. It's the ones that don't tell you they're coming. But Mark's not coming. He's too lazy to get a deer costume. That's not happening. We can barely get him onto a Derek and Lorraine cruise. He's not coming to my house. Zach says, I'm ordering your books now. I need audio versions so I can listen to them while I'm stuck in Boston traffic. Zach, now that I have some free time on my hands and I have this handy new microphone, maybe I will do some audio booking. Maybe. I think people might enjoy it. Maybe. We'll see what I can do. I'll give it some thought. And then I'll put a Patron on it. Oh, wait, that's the tequila. Frank says, enjoy Trump news. He's leading in the Republican polls. Trump's a hotbed of crazy. He was on our show twice. And here's one thing I learned from Trump that Martha Stewart used to do also. I have to get better at it. Trump, everything was always the best. And Martha was the same way. Always the best, top quality, everything is the best. And always upselling other people too. Oh, they're the best. They do the best. They're great. They're always the best. And I think that that's part of the thing of being successful, is you have to sort of talk success into being. And so I think that's a big part about Trump. The downside of it is anyone he doesn't like, he shit talks. Anyone he's going up against, he shit talks. And if you're in business, whatever, you can do some shit talking. Nobody takes it seriously. You're a developer, they're a developer, whatever. Their buildings are crap, whatever. But when you're running in a political race, calling everyone a dummy and a loser, it gets to people after a while. Anyway, the McCain thing is pretty low. And I'm upset about what has been going on at the Veterans Administration and with the hospitals for a really long time, because, my parents were veterans. My grandmother wanted to be a pilot in World War II. I think she was 16. We have crazy ideas in our family. Anyway, she ended up being an airplane mechanic. And then the guy who ended up knocking her up, he was a pilot. That's how my mother was born. They both love to fly and be in the backseat of a car. So anyway, so there have been lots of veterans in my family, and the way the veterans are treated is very, very important to me. And I'm very unhappy about what's happening at the Veterans Administration. I think it's legitimate to question members of Congress about what they have done, about the wait times at the VA, about funding for the VA, about access to care for veterans. All of those are legitimate things. But anybody who volunteers to put on a uniform to go and fight for our country is a hero. Even if they die of typhus at Fort Slocum before they even leave the country, the fact that they signed up, that they volunteered to do that, is a heroic act. And it's the same thing for police officers and firefighters. People who are willing to put their life on the line for other people are inherently heroes. Now, that doesn't mean that being a hero means you're a perfect person and that you do everything right. But the nature of being a hero is doing something courageous. And sorry, that's courageous. Putting your life on the line for other people is courageous. And I know that Trump doesn't think that being a prisoner of war for 8 years is particularly courageous in the grand scheme of things. That is Trump's business. But as far as I'm concerned, that was pretty low to go after McCain like that. You can have disagreements about McCain's record as a senator, whatever, fine. But I really think that his service is really, it's not appropriate. So anyway, there you go. I don't think I'm having like a wild, outrageous opinion on this. All right, Nana's got to go. Got to drink that soda. Got to watch some TV. Thanks so much for coming. And be sure to watch our regular thing on Sunday with Derek and Romaine, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. And of course, I'll be on Periscope later on this week, but probably earlier since Mike is in town and we got to get to Wendy's every night. Although I really think there's a pizza in our future. Maybe there's one.